Thank you so much for such an incredible film, and can we have a round of applause for the programming team and of course for Dana, for putting the short film and this feature film together, making us think of dating, love, and marriage in the modern age. So thank you so much for such a wonderful film. I wanted to start a first question. You mentioned at the beginning that this film is very important, very personal to you. Is the locations, the cotton market, the house, the village, are very familiar to you, and but also the people. And you want to tell us a bit more about shooting these locations that you know very well and these people that you know very well. Um, can you tell us about yes about the location and this village? You said that this is a house is that you were born in, and also working with first-time actors.
Uh, I decided to shoot this film in my village because when I wrote the script, the all the locations were like all the location and the characters were from my village only because I visualized those people, those locations. So automatically that was my choice. And working with non-actors is very challenging, very challenging. But I think they have done a fabulous job. I wanted to cast that the people in the village because I want very real and authentic look and feel for this film. Because the language in this film is Marathi, but that is different Marathi. It's a Varadi. It is spoken in Vidarbha region of Maharashtra. If I like in Mumbai, Pune, or Aurangabad, they have different accent of Marathi. So I wanted that real laheja of that language. That's why I chose to work with actor from the same region. And when I auditioned a couple of people, like including actors, but I found those non-actors, that raw talent, very interesting. That's why.
And they were such an excellent choice.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned the importance of Marathi, the film reminded me of course, like films like Serat, Angkor, People Live. So, is there any film that inspired you that you watched in preparation for this film?
I'm not a film student, so I didn't. What you can, I didn't learn any filmmaking. So what I learned about filmmaking by watching the films. So of course I like any good film. Like I like Serat, I like Henry, I like Chaitanya's Code. I like Iranian cinema. I'm very huge fan of Iranian cinema and Malayalam cinema also. So I like slice of life, satirical and social subjects. The film that deals with social subjects. So I think that is my natural choice. Sorry, I forgot what was your question.
Any particular of those, like
so
the Iranian films?
any good film that inspire any good film that inspire me.
Brilliant. One thing I noticed about the film is that even though it is a marriage story, and we have seen like many marriage stories, it is not a love story. If I would say it's a film about economics. Is this something that you were interested in as a part of an angle to tell the economical part? When we see these comparisons, for example, of seeing the sequence where he goes to the cotton market immediately after we see the community marriage.
Yeah, when you deals with the arranged marriage in that area, like I come from that area, Vidarbha region of Maharashtra. So all these things are related to the arranged marriage. Like the marriage, like the wedding of a girl is a burden. It's like burden on the shoulder of the parents. So selling cotton, like finding the right price for the crop, is like it is equal to the finding the right match for their girl. So I think these are very interlinked to each other. Because I have seen all these things in my life since my childhood. I have 2 sisters, I have 5 cousins. Everybody, like all 7 sisters, had arranged marriage. So since my childhood, I'm just observing these things. Like I know it is loosely inspired by my elder sister. So she had many rejections, and I know I was a child, but the boy who comes with a tray of water, like, So, so while I was writing that, all the things like farmer distress, that whole the haze, all these things came automatic to me. I don't think I decided to put this issue. Yeah, all these organic things. I think. Yeah.
Well, I could keep talking to you more and asking more questions, but I would like to open it up for the Q&A. We have a couple of minutes for questions. We have one here at the front.
Hi. First of all, incredible work on the
Thank
film.
you.
I just have one main question. What scene would you say was the most challenging one for you to direct or to shoot or to edit? What would you say was the most challenging scene for you?
I think every scene was a challenge.
I can repeat the question. The question was, it was one scene that was the most challenging for you to shoot?
As I told, every scene was a challenge because working with non-actors is a task, a huge task. But I think the first scene, actually the first scene of the schedule that we shot at the school sequence where Kali Gurji and her father is talking about when Kali Gurji tells him about the dowry. So that was the most difficult scene because we shot that scene on the first day of the shoot. And both the actors were nervous because whole village was there, all villagers, and everybody like looking at them. And because when we doing the workshop, I did like 7 days of workshop with them, like because I didn't want to make them act because I want them to raw. So when we used to workshop, so I used to shoot with my phone. But on the first day of shoot, when they see the use camera, they got conscious and kaha dekho main, kaha dekho. So it's type of right. So that was the most difficult day, most difficult scene to shoot. I think it took me 6 to 7 hours to shoot that scene, that particular scene. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You did a fantastic job with it. All that work paid off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Did the people in the village watch the movie and what was their reaction to the movie?
The question was, did the people in the village watch the film and what was the reaction?
Not yet. Only the primary actors, like 7 to 8 people, they watched the film. I invited them to the Mami Film Festival in Mumbai. So whole cast was there, like all the primary actors, including Savita, and they really liked the film. I don't know the reaction of the other people or villagers. I don't know, but I think they will like it. Yeah.
The last scene where when the girl slaps, did that really happen or was that a dream?
It's open to interpretation. What is it's a slap on the society, slap on us. Yeah.
So you said that you used non-actors. Did you have the people of the village that were actually in those roles and shoot them in their roles, like the real farmer or the real student?
Exactly like sorry.
No, you're fine. Just for the people in the back, the people that were non-actors, were they playing the roles that they live in their real lives? Were the farmers actually farmers, etc.?
Actually, yeah. The farmer is actually a farmer. Professor is actually professor. And Savita is actual student of that professor.
Congratulations.
Even the mother, Savita's mother is my like cousin, distant cousin. She runs a atta chakki in the village, and my cousin brother is there. The Kali Gurji, he's my cousin. So yeah, all my sisters are dancing in the barat.
We saw you dancing in the barat.
Yeah. My mother is in one of the dream sequence, first dream sequence. My mother is sitting there wearing that goggle. उसका जिस ऑपरेशन हुआ था मैंने बोला बैठ जाओ कोई बात नहीं.
She had an operation. They told her to like just take this part.
Yeah.
I have one question here, one there, and then you have one more time then last. Go ahead.
Yeah, very quick question, right? First of all, congratulations, fantastic.
Thank you.
and that proverbial slap will be heard around the world. In your opinion, has the society changed enough, or what is the opportunity for the society to change so we can actually move the needle on this topic?
See, I want that change to happen.
Right.
But yeah, I think things are changing, but not in small towns or in villages. This is a very contemporary film. Everything is happening today.
Right.
So that is the purpose. See, there should be discussion.
Yeah.
We should talk about the whole tradition. We should talk about the why the girls are treated like it, as a commodity,
Right.
as a why we are objectifying the girls. There should be that, like, people ask question to girl but not to the boy. So that is the purpose of this film. But things will change. I'm a very optimistic person, and I think अच्छे दिन आएंगे. Actually अच्छे दिन आएंगे. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Amazing, amazing
Thank
film.
you.
Really enjoyed it, and I think I can easily say that you had so many social issues going on there in the movie, and all of us were doing the oohs and the ahs and the clapping at the final
Yeah,
start.
wonderful audience. Thank you so
So,
much.
no, I think it's an ode to the movie making that you did. So fantastic job. So I would encourage and ask, would you like to take on other social issues like this as well?
Yeah, I like social issues. My next film again is a satire on. Sorry, I can't reveal it. But it's again a satire.
That's great. That's great. Thank you.
So,
Sit
yeah.
here in the back.
Okay, so this question may perhaps that'll be your last question.
No, we can take them.
We can have time?
We can take two more questions at least.
Okay, go ahead, and then in the back.
Amazing film, so thank you so much. It's
Thank
an
you.
honor to watch it. The scene with the father taking the pesticides and attempting suicide. Why did you choose that scene, and what type of conversation would you like for us to take away to have around suicide, especially in the farmer community that's quite prevalent nowadays?
The question is that what made you think of this question regarding the ingesting of pesticide, and what conversations would you like us to have in regards to like suicide, and especially farmer suicide?
See, the Vidarbharism, the reason I shown in the film, is very infamous for farmer suicide. So I think, and it happened. Like, there are many real cases of farmer suicide because of the death, because of the girls wedding based stuff. There is a nice poem, actually, nice documentary. The girl committed suicide, and she wrote a poem because she didn't want her parents get suffered because of her marriage. So that is very moving poem. So there are very real cases of farmer suicide because of the wedding, because of the farming distress. So it's the actual thing. So again, it's a very organic. I didn't think about what will the conflict in the film, but it's a very natural process while writing. It came very natural to me.
We have 10 more minutes for more questions.
Okay, great.
Oh, 10 more minutes.
And you'll be in the after the theater as well, right? So you also be after the screening. You'll be outside the theater, so they can ask you more questions as well. So we have a question right in the back.
I was curious, how did you get into filmmaking?
How do you get into filmmaking?
I'm engineer by education, but like everybody in India, they like film, they like to act in the film. I was always interested in creative process, not filmmaking. I didn't. What happened? The real inspiration. I tell you, the real inspiration was the film Swades. After watching Swades, I thought, यार कुछ तो करना चाहिए मुझे भी अपने गांव के बारे में.
I should also do something about my
Yeah.
village.
And then when I used to write, I left engineering and came to Mumbai, and because I wanted to do something in creative field, but I didn't know क्या करे. Then I used to work in the production houses. I used to, and finally I got a job as a television writer. I used to write comedy circus, stand-up comedy. I used to write, then I wrote animation shows for kids animation shows. But meanwhile, I'm the diehard fan of Mami Film Festival. I used to watch 4 to 5 films every day at the Fan Film Festival, and during that process, I got exposed to the world cinema, and I thought like I told you earlier, I'm the big fan of Iranian cinema, and I thought कि यार इतनी अच्छी फिल्में बनाते हैं, like इतनी simple फिल्म बनाते हैं, हम क्यों नहीं बना रहे? Like मेरे पास भी इतनी कहानियाँ हैं, so.
He was saying
Yeah,
that
yeah.
after watching a lot of Iranian cinema, so many good films, that there's very simple films, like why can we also make those kind of films?
Yeah. And I decided to venture into filmmaking. Yeah. There is no process. I think it like accident था मेरा हो सकता है. I don't know.
A very nice accident that was a very happy thing happened.
Yeah.
Right here and then in the back.
Yeah, Jayant, I think wonderful film. The question I have is more of a thought from you. A lot of the folks in this audience already know about these social issues and have sometimes gone beyond it. We see it in Mami, in these kind of film festivals, right? Where the audience is usually in cities. What are your thoughts on how we bring these kind of films, which are actually easily consumable by people in the village, and you've gotten people with that dialect also as part of it? How do you think we can start bringing these more into villages and smaller towns so that we can actually bring the change at the root level?
That is the plan. We are planning to release theatrically, and I think in next 2 to 3 months it will, hopefully, I hope it will get released theatrically. Distributing independent cinema, like without any known name, without any known faces, is very difficult and is very costly project. So I wanted that the film should reach each and every village of India or anywhere in the world. But we're trying, and I hope it will reach to that section of society. And I think OTT is the great platform. If theater से नहीं हुआ तो OTT से पहुंच जाएगा, but OTT गाँव तक नहीं पहुंचे. That's a challenge, yeah.
Yeah, the challenge of it is doesn't that OTTs, if they reach or they cannot reach villages or not. There was a question here at the back.
I love your film. It
Thank you.
was a great film, and I wanted to point out some really good parts. I saw that there was a very fine direction in which, in the first scene when they were having tea in a cup, I could see a small house flag on the cup.
वो एक्सीडेंट था, पता नहीं कैसे आ गया. मैंने नहीं रखी थी वो.
There was a house fly, but it was like he didn't put the fly there.
मैं तो बहुत खुश हो गया था.
He was very happy though, the fly might have been there.
I considered that you waited for that moment to come outside.
There was not Fevikwik there. So, yeah.
Also, I'd like to mention that I actively work as in a team for women empowerment back in UP. So we have a Stree Shikshan Sanstha called Maharshi Karve Stree Shikshan Sanstha, and so Dhondakeshav Karve was the first
Yeah.
person to start the women university in Pune. It was called SMPP. So I was really glad that you showed Savitribai Phule and Ambedkar, and that I also know about Dhondakeshav Karve. So I have no other question. Wanted to acknowledge you for the film, for bringing the social issue, and would also like the audience to know about these names and to research about them in the future, so that we can also ask.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So in the same vein as what the lady in the back asked, even I thought that there were some places where I thought the direction was impeccable because of the way the scene looked. So now I'm curious because of the fly fly thing, because I noticed that fly thing too, we all had. And we thought, oh, how realistic, how beautiful. So there was one moment when the girl that Mangya is in love with gets,
Suman.
he finds out she's getting married.
Yeah.
And then right at that moment when he finds out, those trains go crossing behind him. We thought
That was
so
an
beautiful.
accident. Oh, that was planned.
That was beautiful. Very well done.
It was written in the script. Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting that you have a very authentic and beautiful film showing the village life and the real people who live there. And I thought it was very interesting, your choice of playing a tango every time the professor and his student were in the scene. What made you think about pulling a tango and some Western music into this extremely authentic Indian movie? It was great.
For me, the college life of Savita is like her aspirational life. Because at home, she's like, home is like cage. So for her, that the whole college life is like aspiration. So I wanted that that whole sequence to be larger than life. That's why I use slow motion and larger than life music like waltz. And it's a tribute to Omkar Bhai. अगर किसी ने देखा हो, so it's in the mood for love. So yeah, so it's a tribute. So that's why I use that the music and the whole slow motion sequence, yeah, to show inspirations, yeah.
Go ahead. And perhaps that'll be like our last question.
No question. Indeed, an acknowledgement. My name is Shripriya and I'm the president of Austin Marathi Mandal. Indeed, a wonderful film that we got to see here in Austin, and to me, the Austin Mother, you touched that topic of the dowry thing and wonderfully casted. So I think it is. I would like to thank the Indie Meme Festival team for getting such movies here in Austin and for touching that cause of dowry, right, which is still so prominent not only in India but here in the US also. So I think wonderful job done by your team and wonderful acting. That everything, the village, everything was so real. So really, hats off to you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we can keep the conversation outside. And just my last question, what else? You teased us with you have a new project. Is there anything else we should be on the lookout for of your next projects? Any next projects that we should be on the lookout?
Next project, I'm working on the next film.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to write a new film. It's a very difficult process, but I'm working on my next film. So I'm looking for fun and looking for because it's a big project, so I need a lot of fun. We have a producer.
Any producer in the house? Well, thank you so much, and if you look for him, please look for him outside to keep the conversation, to ask more questions.
क्योंकि वो film pretty बड़ी है, so I need. Thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you so much.